Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're doing Delta Force as the second 100%. Delta Force only has 10 total achievements and took me about 30 hours of in-game time to complete it. And it is free on Game Pass, but microtransactions in this game are definitely not free. As you can see, when you load into the game, you're thrown into a tutorial section for the extraction shooter game mode. Extraction shooters are normally like Tarkov, if you ever heard of that game, or there was a failed COD one. Many of you probably have not played that. Delta Force is made in China, and the game is massive over there. You can check out a drone show like this. Anyways, most of the Chinese players on this game had a massive head start to what people do nowadays in the US, and even on console in general. A lot of PC players got a head start. So anyways, here is the first achievement. It's going to pop for completing the tutorial. Don't worry if it doesn't pop right away. Mine took up until this screen right here that you're seeing now with my stash, which is basically everything in the game that you collect and put in there will stay in there. Next up, I also just wanted to highlight that in this game you'll see a lot of Chewbacca. He's also my editor and introduced me to this game, so link to his channel down below. Feel free to check it out. He also pushed me to do the 100% on this game since it wasn't very hard, so I appreciate him doing that. And he also will be editing all my videos for the foreseeable future. Just a little background on the extraction mode in Delta Force. It's also called Operations. You can do contracts, go for kills, or just loot and leave, which is a little different than other like battle royales or extraction game modes. The game has 5 different maps, which you can eventually choose from once you level up all the way. Leveling up is not overly difficult by any means, and all the maps are pretty enjoyable for the most part. I didn't dislike any of them. You can see throughout here we're doing a challenge where you just clear out all the enemies. Disregard the pretty shitty gameplay on my end. I was just learning the game. Even just doing the little contracts with cracking safes took me a while to get used to. The controls aren't janky, and they also updated it to run at 120 frames eventually, so it's been pretty good through this game. At this point, we came across our first real player as well as a team. We ended up killing this guy. I think Chewbacca got the kill, but you get assist in this game, then you both can loot. If you don't shoot the player, they put in a patch where you can't loot the person. But also coming up, you see that we find a Saeed Black card, which was a limited time event, which will open any door on the map, which will be explained a little bit later on. But there's key cards where you can find them across the map or buy them from the store, and they give you better loot and better stuff throughout, and you can start a collection even. You can buy a collection room and find all these rare artifacts across all the maps and put it in there. So it's really interesting, and it's something to grind for and keep playing the game. But at this point, we're just exfilling through the dam. We pulled the lever earlier, and then we hop into another game right away, and we come across the AI boss. These are on every map, I think, except for Tide Prison, which is the final map, but that's really only teams. And you can see this boss rails us, downs us both instantly. We die, go back to the loading screen we go. Moving on, once again, we were struggling to get much progress going on Operations, so we switched to the Warfare mode, which is a lot like Battlefield's normal mode with like 40v40. So we moved on to this and started getting some kills, getting used to it. It's a little less janky than the Operations mode, which is kind of be expected. It's multiplayer. But here's me getting some kills, getting used to the game, because there is 5 achievements related to Warfare, and they're not particularly easy, but they are a little bit tedious. This game, I was just kind of getting used to it, trying to go for some objective score and assist. I ended up getting both at the end of this match. Objective score is pretty hard. You have to basically sit on a flag like I'm doing in this clip. All this score at the bottom is getting me objective score because I'm standing on a flag the entire time. So I think I ended with like 4,000 or 5,000 objective score. The only bad part about these achievements is they pop at the end of matches, so you're not sure how close you are or if it's tracking properly, so you're just kind of praying at the end of the match that they're working. Other than that, we were kind of railing kids this game, and you can see that since we're the greatest gamers alive, we won this match obviously. As you can see, Xbox still sucks and doesn't pop all the achievements. So thanks to my editor for showing that I got 32 assists. Here's me showing that I did unlock the achievement, it just didn't pop. There's 3,000 score, and here is 20 assists in a match. No longer have to go for those. Those are pretty common achievements. The next match, I decided to go for the 40 reses in one game achievement. There's a guy, he has this little pistol that can also revive people. You shoot him 3 times, but he also revives faster, so it's just better to play this character. As you can see, I'm reviving anyone and everyone, but I'm not focused on the game at all. I think I ended with close to 80 reses this game. But that's all I was doing. I wasn't even trying to get kills or anything, play the objective, and that is why we lost. Since I'm the greatest gamer alive and I was distracted, we ended up losing. But here's the achievement, so that's the only good part about this. Thanks once again to my editor for showing the scoreboard. There it is, 72 reses. Nothing else going on in that game, but I moved on to the most boring achievement of the game, destroying rogue vehicles. Here, I'm shooting a rocket launcher, destroy, I think it was 2+ vehicles. Most people say 3. I think I only destroyed 2 in this game and it ended up popping. But once again, you have to destroy vehicles and hope that it pops at the end of the game. I destroyed these 2 mongoose looking things. If you ever played Halo, you know what a mongoose is. If you know, you know. We ended up winning the game because I was focused once again after destroying the 2 vehicles and didn't do shit. So now we won. I think we are 3-1 total in this game, and there it is. Destroy 2+ vehicles. Not very hard, not very challenging, just kind of annoying. The last Warfare achievement is get 50 kills in a match. You can do this with any character and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. The best way to do it is have a really long match going on. It's not a problem for me since I'm the best gamer alive. I think I had 50 kills before the second half of this game even started. But you still have to wait till the game ends. We ended up winning this game since I was so focused on kills and objective that it was no problem for the best gamer alive, and we ended up winning this pretty easily. Got 50 kills, no problem. And here's that achievement is, should pop at the end of the game. It takes a few seconds, so don't worry. And there we have it, 50 kills in a match, done with Warfare, moving back to Operations next. So Operations has the final 4 achievements left in the game. This is the first game back into Operations. I kind of get down pretty fast. I thought this game was going to be over pretty fast. We don't have very good loot right now. We're taking in green armor, green gear. These kids ended up having, like, I think purple gear, and my editor ended up downing the first kid. I still thought it might be over just because he was so low on health. But here he goes. He shits on the second kid. We don't know where the third kid is. He never ends up showing up. But he gets my res. And moving forward, we loot these bodies and move right into the cement plant to keep the game going. And I ended up finding an expensive key card on this random AI bot. This helped me get to the next achievement at the end of this video, which is make over $1 million in one game. As you can see in my inventory right now, I'm at $1.5 million. I opened one of my key cards I had got from a free loot box. Which is really nice of Delta Force to do. They give you a lot of free stuff when you first enter the game. But I found it right here, a $2 million key card. So I'm close to $3 million on this game in total. So I tell my editor we need to get out of here right now. We can get achievement right off the bat. As you can see, we exfil at one of the closest exfil points, and the achievement ends up popping at the end of this game. Just like Warfare, you have to wait till the end of the game for most of these to pop, including one of the future ones that is harder to track. Next, we've been playing Dam the entire time, so we decided to load into the second map, Layali Grove, and go for the flagship contract achievement. These contracts are labeled by a skull with a crown on them. This one is Iron Dome, where you launch 3 rockets and then head over to breach a little dome barracks area. You have to launch 2 computers and keep going. Most of these are 3-step processes, so you'll know right off the bat if you're doing the right contract or not. It is hard to differentiate sometimes, but as you can see, we're detonating the bombs and hacking terminals for the steps at here, and then you have to kill a lot of enemies. I think we almost go down here. There might be some juggernauts and like flamethrower guys, but we ended up doing that, and then we exfil by train, which is like the dam one where you pull the lever and exit through the dam where you shoot up the elevator. This one's a train where you have to wait for 5 minutes, but right before the train comes you get a king safe, which can have really good loot. But we end up exfilling, and at the end of this train sequence cinematic, we get the achievement for doing a flagship contract, leaving only 2 left. Next, we head back into Grove, and we're going for the 3,000 meters traveled achievement. We thought originally this was a cumulative, but obviously after about 15 to 20 games, we're like, we definitely would have traveled 3,000 meters. So here is 40 minutes of gameplay. into 25 seconds of us just running around the map trying to get 3,000 meters because there's no tracker. You're just kind of guesstimating. But if you run around Grove, if you spawn on the opposite side of an extraction point and go loot for a little bit, you'll get this pretty easily. Sorry for any of you that are a little bit epileptic or anything like that, but here's the achievement popping. We definitely traveled around 4,000 meters in one game. But here we go. Last achievement is on to the Mantle Bricks, the toughest achievement by far. Essentially, Mantle Bricks appear in every 1 in 7 normal games. In easy mode, it's more like 1 in every 50. So I definitely recommend playing normal to try to get Mantle Bricks. We failed this about 6 or 7 times before we finally got a decent spawn. As you can see, I just picked up the Mantle Brick and headed right to the decoding station. You then have a 4-minute lockdown section where you have to guard the Mantle Brick and hope that no teams push you because you are live pinged on the map this entire time. It's like a Most Wanted contract from Warzone, if any of you have never played that. But essentially, Mantle Bricks are the end game item of this game where you get cosmetics, but you get 1 spin, and it's like a loot wheel where every spin you're closer to the grand prize. So it takes 75 Mantle Bricks. So they really want you to play this game a lot, and every season has a new Mantle Brick skin. They're pretty sick, but if you wanted to buy them, yeah, it's about $100 per skin, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. You just gotta hope you get lucky or you buy the currency and buy the skin, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it. But there's the last achievement popping. We extracted just to get the achievement. You don't have to extract when you get it, but I do recommend just leaving if this will likely be your last achievement that you get. Anyways, see you guys next time. We're coming back with another video pretty soon.
1, 2, 3, 4.